Hi guys and welcome back. This is Mike Hermes at MH Tutorials, and today we're going to model a Conestoga wagon. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but this is the type of wagon we're talking about. You probably heard the phrase in the movies, like back in the Western movies, where they said circle the wagons. This is kind of the wagon that we're talking about. Okay. Now I loaded a couple of images here, not to follow exactly, but just to have a reference to look at from time to time. And the trick with this kind of thing is I got a request to model this in a tutorial. If you want to do this properly, my guess would be you'd be working on this for, I don't know, 6-7 hours to do it correctly. Now, I don't want to do a tutorial that takes 6-7 hours, so I'm going to go through this, not necessarily faster, but maybe with a little bit less detail, but hopefully still enough to help you get the basic shape, the undercarriage and so forth, and then you can decide to tweak it yourself to go into the little details, the brackets, the chains and so forth. Okay, and obviously if you've got any questions when this is done, just let me know, and maybe there'll be some follow-up tutorials. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start off with the wheel axles. So for that, I'm going to create a polygon pipe like that. I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to go to my attribute editor, and I'm going to change my subdivisions to 30, and height, I'm going to put in 3 subdivisions like that. Okay, I'm going to switch my views, right click, go to face, drag, select this inner row here, hit R, and just scale that out a little bit, something like that. All right. Right click, go to object mode. We're going to hit E, and we're going to rotate that over by 90 degrees, minus 90 in this case. All right. Okay, so now we got that. Now we're going to take our wheel shape. So we're going to go with a polygon pipe again. We're going to drag that out, pull that up, something like that. We're going to tweak our settings. So I want this to be 30 subdivisions as well. Let's see, as far as height is concerned, I want to have 3, and the caps are good. Okay, so I'm going to flip that over by 90 degrees. Minus 90, there we go. We're going to make sure that we got that centered over that. So I'm going to select this object, set my translate values to 0, like so. We're going to do the same with this guy. Okay, and that should be all centered out. Yeah, looks good. As you can see, the axle is a bit too big for the wheel, so we're just going to select that and hit R and scale it down a bit. That looks more in proportion. Yeah, not too bad. And what we're going to do is we're going to I want these spokes not to be straight down, but to be at an angle. So we're gonna change that in a sec. First, we're gonna give the wheel a bit more shape. I'm gonna right click, go to face. I'm gonna select that one. I'm gonna hit R and scale that out to give it some roundness, if you like, something like that. Okay. I'm going to right click, go to edge. I'm going to double click these 2 outer edges, and these 2 outer edges I'm going to go to edit mesh and bevel. That will give it a bit more shape, as you can see. Let's see what else. Right click, face. Oh. Let me see, what am I looking for here? Hang on. That's always the trick. I'm going to take the inside face there, and I'm going to hit R, and I'm going to pull that in just a little to give it a little bit more body. Okay. Okay, now for the spokes. Now there's going to be an axle in here, so we don't necessarily have to make individual spokes. We can have them stick straight through because you won't see that later on. And it's always the question when you're modeling, are you going to model something that's not going to be in sight later? Well, that depends on what you're going to use it for, okay? For now, we're going to do that straight through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a polygon cylinder. I'm going to pull that up. Just going to change that to 30. We're going to switch views to my side view. And we're going to take, let's see, if I switch my translate values to 0, we should be okay. And we are, all right. I'm going to stretch that out a bit. And let's see if they're too thick. It looks a little bit too thick. So I'm going to scale that in just a little, stretch it out again. Okay, we look good. All right. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. We're going to flip that by -90. We're going to hit Control D again. Probably have to do that here. Yeah. Control D. We're going to go to, let me think. That should be minus 90, 45, minus 135. Like so. I can hit Control D again. And that will be positive 135. Okay. So let's see what we got. All right. Not too bad. Good. Okay, so we got one wheel. What we're going to do is we're going to drag select that wheel. We're going to go to mesh and combine for now. We're going to take that, hit Control D, hit W, and we're going to move that over until we have what we believe to be the appropriate width for the wagon. Okay. Now, as you can see, this wheel is a little bit smaller. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this view here, take one of the wheels, hit Control D, move it over here. We're going to hit Insert, and we're going to pull our center pivot down to that line. And we're going to hit R, and we're going to scale it in. And this should not be too much of a difference. I think that is about right. Let's see, they should be a bit closer together, but besides that, let's check our image here. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Now, make sure that we copy that one correctly. So that one is, okay, 1870. Okay, Control D. Minus 18. Did I remember that correctly? 870. There we go. Okay. So we got the wheels. Okay, now let's make some axles. Okay. So for that, we're going to take a polygon cylinder. We're going to pull that up. We're going to hit E to rotate that by 90, minus 90 in this case. We're going to switch to our top view. We're going to hit W to move it. We're going to get it into place. Okay, it's a little bit thick as you can see, so we're going to scale it down and move it just a little. Okay, let's see what that looks like. From this view, we have to pull it into position. And we'll check it in this view to see if we're in the middle or not. We are there and we are there. Okay. Just check from a perspective view. Okay. I want to give it just a little detail, so what we're going to do is right click, go to edge. We got that one selected. Shift, double click those, edit mesh, bevel, and we're going to tweak the offset a bit. Just so you can see that line here. That looks nice. Okay, at least I think so. Okay, we're going to right click on that, go to object mode, hit Control D to duplicate, pull that over, switch views, hit F to zoom in. Okay, we want that guy to be positioned in the middle as well. Okay, so we're going to check on height, check there, that should be good. We probably need to reduce the thickness on that one just a little bit, not even that much. So we're going to hit R, we're going to scale that back a little. Yeah, something like that. And we're going to pull it out just a bit. Okay, good. So we got that. Now we need to look at the undercarriage, which is not a very simple construction. But again, you know, we're going to create it, but we're not going to create it to the extent that it's going to get ridiculous. Okay. So first we need to have a horizontal beam. So for that, we're going to create a cube. We're going to drag that out, pull that up, something like that. Hit W, move that in the middle. And now we're going to check it from the various views. It's a bit big, so we're going to scale it down. Hit W, move it out. Hit R to stretch it out just a bit. Let's see where we're at. Just check our reference here. Okay, so that's that main beam. All right, and it needs to be underneath. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. Let's see. Okay, so let's see if we can get that to fit in a way that we are looking for. Okay, hit R, scale it down a bit. So I still got a little space here, and I got a little space there, okay, which means that I'll be able to push that up just a bit, and that should give me contact here and contact there. All right, cool. So we got that. I'm still going to push it in just a little. Okay, so we got that. Now, we got these fork shapes on top of this image here, and I'll try to show you. Okay, so we got this fork shape here, and we got this fork shape here with the beam in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to start off by creating this shape. All right, so how are we going to do that? We are going to take a polygon cube, and we're going to drag that out, something like that. We're going to pull it up, not too thick. Okay, we're going to go into our attribute editor, and we're going to tweak that. Nope, not the height. Okay, so let's say 12. Okay, something like that. Now we're going to go to our top view. Something like so. We're going to right click, go to vertex, and we're going to start to tweak this. So select these vertices. We're going to move that out like so. Select those. Select those. I'm going to try to turn it into something that looks a little bit like a fork. Okay, and you just keep on selecting the rows. And obviously we need to tweak that a little. And the question is whether we have enough curvature or not. It's not as smooth as I would like, but we're getting there. Okay, let's see. So if I move that in a bit. Okay. Now, I'm going to give this a try. So what I'm going to do here is right-click, object mode, hit R, scale it in a bit. And as you can see, I'm losing some curvature. Let me think. Okay, you know what? Scratch this. We're going to do a different approach. Sorry about that, guys. The thing is, when you are modeling, you will sometimes give something a try. It's not going to work out the way you were looking for, so you just scratch it and try something else, okay? So, what I'm first going to do is I'm going to make sure that what I created is roughly the size and shape that I'm looking for. Okay, so we're going to scale that down a bit. Should be something like that, roughly. Okay, pull it back out here. I'm going to give that some subdivision, not too much in height. Okay, something like that. I'm going to go to, and I want to bend it like that, so I'm going to scale it in a bit to make it more like a beam. I'll hit F so you can see it better, like that. We're going to go to animation. We're going to create deformers. We're going to go to nonlinear and bend. Okay. Now our bend handle is up here. Let's see if that is creating what we are looking for. And it is not. So Control Z. We're going to select our bend handle. We're going to hit E. We're going to rotate that by 90. Let's just quickly check that. There we go, 90. We're going to select our beam, which is now inside. That's always tricky. Go to Windows, Outliner, and look for your bend handle. There we are. Okay, so now, okay, that is a bit better. Okay, we're going to do something like that, right? Okay. Now, before we do anything else, drag select the whole thing, go to Edit, Delete by Type, and History. All right. We're going to take that one. We're going to go to our top view. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it, W to move it over, E to flip it over. Make sure you're at 180, sorry, minus 180, like that. And now we're going to bring these 2 points together. So, and this is starting to look like what we were aiming for. Okay, so let's go with minus 18 and minus 18. Hit 5 for shaded mode. And we're just going to take that one and bring that just a little bit. Okay, so select these two, go back to your polygons, go to mesh and combine, and you should have that shape. Apologies that took a while, but that's just how it is. All right, so we're going to pull that up, we're going to pull that one in, we're going to get that guy into position. So check it from your top view. We're going to pull it out, something like that. And I think it's something like that. Just check our image quickly. Okay, that one goes on top of that one. All right, that's fine. So we're going to push that down a bit. It's hard to see from this angle, but okay, let's see. Yeah, that's good for now. Okay. Now, that one stops before it's at this axle, and then the next one is underneath. So what we're going to do here is, for sake of time as well, we got this guy selected, Control D, duplicate it. We're going to pull that out, and that one, okay, sticks way out in front. Okay, so that's good. So that one will go somewhere here, maybe so, like that. And we're going to create an additional cube like that. We're going to pull that up just a little, and we're going to move that into position to extend on that one. Okay, so we'll hit F to zoom in so we can see it a bit better. As you can see, I need to move over just a bit, which, yeah. I'm going to hit R to scale that way back in. And let's see what we got. Just going to hit F. This thickness is not too bad. All right. So we got that section. Okay, we got that, we got that. Okay, now we need to set up the brake system. So for that, we're going to create an additional cube beam. Something like that. We're going to pull that up, pull that out. Go to our top view, hit F to zoom in. That will be about here. Yeah, it looks about right. Let's check our other view here. We need to pull that guy down. Just hit 5 for shaded mode so you can see that a bit better. And let's see where we're at. Okay, that looks about right. Just push it down a little bit. Hit W. There we go. Okay. Now we need to have these brake shapes, which are pretty much just 2 pieces of wood. So for that, we're going to create a cube, and I'll model it a bit bigger so it's easier to see. We're going to go to our polycube, and we're going to put some subdivisions in that. Let's say 5. And we're going to go to our side view, and we're going to right click and go to vertex. We're going to select these. We're going to pull that in select these, pull that in. That should about do it. Right click on it, object mode. Just try, let's see what it's going to look like if we soften it up. So shift right click and smooth. Now that looks horrible. Okay, we're going to leave it like that. We are going to bevel the edges though. So right click, edge. We're just going to take those edges here. I think we got everything. Oop, not that one yet. Okay, so we got that. Edit mesh and bevel. And we're going to increase segments to 4. And we're going to set the offset to 1. Okay, so excuse me, we got that. Object mode. We're going to get that into position and also scale it down. So that would be about there. Hit R, scale it down quite a bit. We're going to get that thing in position in this view here. Scale it down some more. W, move it out, move it down. Okay, we're going to move that down here. We're going to take the beam and this, and we're going to move it back just a little. Okay. And we're going to hit E, and we're going to rotate that a little bit. No, not both, sorry. That one. We're going to take that beam, hit W, we're going to push that in just a little. And we're going to make that one a bit wider. So we're going to hit R and we're going to stretch it out like that. Now I'm happy with that look. So I'm going to hit Control D. I'm going to pull that over here. So that's my second break. And we just need to give that one a bit more length. So we're going to stretch that one out a little bit. Oh, not too much. Something like that. Okay, not too bad. All right. Now, what else? Okay, now that needs to be held in place. So we got two constrainers, if you want to call it that. Okay, so we need to put that in. So we will. So what we're going to do is we're going to take two more cubes like that. So object mode, Control D, W to move it back a little. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit R and we're going to scale that in. Mainly like this. And we're going to hit Control D again, hit W, push it over there, and scale that out again. So it's carrying like that. Okay. Now, and we need to do some constraints on it. So for that, I'm going to create some cubes, very, very thin. We're going to hit W, we're going to push that up, push that in, and we're going to position that on top. So that would be about here, and maybe even at an angle. I think that would look cool. So something like that. Actually, the original is not at an angle, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to do it like that. Okay. We're going to scale it down quite a bit to something like that. Stretch it out. Pull it down. That looks about right. Control D to duplicate that. Pull that over to about there. And let's see how we're doing height-wise. Okay, what do we got? Okay, so we got that in place. So what else have we got going on here? So we got that, we got that. Okay, we need to have a connecting bar at the end here, and we need to have one there. Okay, so for that, I'm going to take that guy, hit F to zoom in. Hey, where'd he go? Oh, this is my other one. Just push that in position. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take that one, hit Control D, push that out to the end. So that would be about here. Oop, we're going to hit R, we're going to flatten that quite a bit. Hit W to push it down. It's hard to see, yeah. And hit R and stretch it out just a bit. Like that, all right? So we got that. We're going to do the same thing. So hit Control D. We're going to do the same thing up here. So hit F. That should be pretty okay. Yeah, good. So we get that. So what do we got going on up here? Okay, that section. Okay, we need to put a cross section on front here. So for that, I'm going to create a polygon cube. Pull it up a little bit. And we're going to move that into place. So that would be about there. Hit F to zoom in. R to scale in quite a bit. Stretch it out a little. Make sure that it's in the middle. That would be about right. Let's see how we're doing here. And I'm going to hit Control D. I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to duplicate it until it's down there. Okay. Okay. Now that doesn't look too bad. Okay. Now we need to have a beam to level it out as far as the area that's going to hold a wagon. So I'm going to take that beam, hit Control D. I'm going to move that out here until it's level on top of my axis, and it is. I'm going to hit R and I'm going to scale it in quite a bit, and that should be about right. Okay. Okay, so now we can start to create the shape of the wagon itself. Just going to do a final check on the undercarriage. Okay, and again, you know, it's not the absolute detail that you would do when you're doing like a 7 or 8 hour model. I'm trying to keep this fairly quick, but hopefully it's still helpful. Okay, so that's the undercarriage, and the next step we will go into is building the wagon.